Hey fam, it's your boy Pop Pop. It's early in the morning. I'm still snuggled in my covers. This video is not Helen Smith approved because I have a blanket over me, but I don't have a shirt on. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Good grief. So I took my blood pressure medicine. I haven't had coffee this morning because my blood pressure was too high to enjoy a nice, satisfying cup of decaf. And I just got my diaper changed. And for those of you who want to help me out, Pop Pop needs pillow pads desperately. I'm down to my last little pile of Pop Pop pillow pads. If any of you want to go to my Amazon channel and help me out, be a blessing, get a blessing, that kind of thing. Two very significant things are happening in the news. None of them good, unfortunately, but that's the way the world is. The Bear Country, in preparation for WW3, is turning their entire subway system into one huge bunker. So they're fortifying their subway system. I would assume that they're putting blast doors in place in various sections, and they're putting away those emergency crackers and water, stuff that the Iron Eagle country, us, could easily do but haven't, because we're too involved in the January 6th meeting while all the politicians throw schmutz at each other. And oh boy, they wax eloquently in blaming each other for this, that, and the other. It amazes me how good they are at blaming each other for the woes of this country, which has just sunk down into the abyss since we have embraced the abomination and spit in the face of God, giving away our strategic petroleum reserve, far beyond bankrupt, giving our weapons away to another country to leave ourselves pretty much defenseless other than the nukes. So I had a dream. I was out. The dream was very specific. I was out in White Oak, Maryland, a few blocks away from the Naval Surface Weapons Center. Very vivid dream. And I'm driving along and I see a military jet overhead. And all of a sudden it gets hit by a drone. And all of the bits and pieces start to rain down on my car. And so I'm looking for a safe haven. And there's a house on the corner of, it's Spring something court, Spring Lock or Spring Haven Court. And I drive underneath the carport thinking that that's going to afford me some protection from pieces of a jet that are raining down on me. So apparently the jet pieces of the jet land on the carport, which lands on my car, and I woke up like, like people do out of a nightmare. But the dream was very specific. And I believe in my heart of hearts that WAR is coming to American soil at some point. Because the bear country is really ticked off at our interference with the yellow and blue country. And they know that we're backing them. They're not stupid. So they know in order to take care of this situation, you got to cut the head off the snake. But they're using our being involved in all this other stuff, this wokeism and stuff that doesn't matter. They're using this time to their advantage to prepare. China is too. And there's a verse in the Bible that says when a nation forgets God, God will send the enemy of the nation in to destroy it. And it happens in segments where God sends people from other nations in to flood the nation that is the target of his wrath. And then finally, he allows the enemy of that nation to go ahead and destroy it. I believe that we are just pre-wrath when it comes to God finally being tired of us mocking him and everything else. So the Russians are turning their subways into bunkers. And then FEMA in October is going to send out this emergency alert signal. And some are saying that the intensity of the signal, I got to switch my weight. It's hard being bedridden to keep your circulation going and to, keep from getting bed sores and stuff. Very unpleasant. I'm not doing a Jeffrey Tubin off camera or anything like that, like Helen Smith would suggest, but I'm just switching my weight. And why somebody would troll me with some idea like that when there's so much important stuff going on. Oh, goodness. So, in any case, oh my gosh. In any case, there we go. There we go. And I've got citronella around my bed to keep the fleas away. A bunch more must have hatched because there weren't any, and then all of a sudden I started getting bitten again yesterday afternoon. So some more eggs must have hatched, unfortunately, but I've been vacuuming and steaming and all this other stuff. I have no idea where they're coming from. But every so often I look and one of them has jumped onto the bed or one jumped on the wheelchair the other day. It amazes me how something the size of a fleck of pepper can sting you so bad that you get a welt on your arm, and that they can jump so high that they can jump, 4 or 5 feet and try and land on the bed. That amazes me. The Army has an entomology department where they study insects in order to study their lethality. So they need to study fleas because they are amazing. And the fleas definitely have an intellect, because the other day I went to pick one off the bed and it hopped off and saw me coming. It was like, here comes old Pop Pop, I better leave. So the hunter became the hunted. But getting back to what's coming up, the FEMA is going to send out an emergency alert signal. And some are saying that the signal is going to be of such a frequency and so strong that it's going to disrupt a lot of delicate equipment like smartphones and stuff like that. So you need to have a backup. I have a Virgin phone, not Virgin Mobile, but a Virgin phone that's never been used. And I keep it wrapped in aluminum foil, as an EMP protection. And it's not activated yet. So once I activate it, it has 1,500 minutes of free service and a year's worth of data service. So I just keep it turned off and wrapped in aluminum for that day when I need it. And I took it out and charged it up so I know that the battery's still going to be good. I have walkie-talkies that are wrapped in aluminum. I have power units that are wrapped in aluminum. And I have a ham radio that's wrapped in aluminum and a shortwave radio that's wrapped in aluminum for emergencies. So if you wrap them in aluminum foil and you leave the plastic on, the plastic and the aluminum foil will protect them from any EMPs. So I'm good to go. But in any case, those are the two biggest news items that are coming up. And I'm hoping that they'll come and go without any significant, happenstance. But there have been explosions in the bear country, and they're pretty much getting tired of getting whacked without being able to turn around and whack their whackers. So I have a feeling that 2024 is going to be a rough year, especially since the world has only grown half the amount of food that it needs. So you got to stay prepped up and prayed up, fam. And remember, the good Lord loves you when nobody else does. Pops out.